Hello, and welcome to another episode of Tarot by Hilary Live. I am your hostess with the mostest, Hilary of tarotbyhilary.com, professional tarot reader and EFT tapping practitioner, demystifying the mystical and putting you in touch with your gifts, which is the gift of intuition. And please don't argue with me. I really believe that everybody has intuition. I'm trying to move my stuff around so that there is no blockage, even though we'll probably put an overlay on with the agenda, which of course I forgot to make again. Let me just check something here. Check my microphone and my headphones. Last week, for some reason, we had a little bit of an issue with the sound. And unfortunately, I think towards the end of Benevolent Corvus, Sophia, one of our regulars here, and sometimes a participant in the live stream, she was presenting on the Deacon wheels of the tarot to show the associations between astrology and the tarot for the minor arcana. And unfortunately, I think the last 10 minutes of the episode cut out. So that episode last week, Astrology and the Tarot, Tarot and Astrology Part 2, is in 2 parts. So let me say that again. Tarot and Astrology Part 2 is in 2 parts. So make sure you watch both videos in order to get the whole of that part 2 episode. In part 1 of the episode, we talked about the major arcana with their associations to astrology. And in part 2, we talked about the minor arcana and the deacon wheel and their associations there. Because yes, tarot is a wonderful divination system. Astrology is a wonderful divination system, but putting them together can allow you to go deeper into a divination system that you might not have been able to go deeper without the assistance of a divination system that you are familiar with. Hopefully that makes sense to everybody. It's very like, and tonight's episode is an unboxing episode of the Labyrinth Tarot, in case you haven't read the description of the episode. So I'm going to go ahead and read the description of the episode because I realize sometimes when people are tuning in, they don't see the description of the episode. So I'm just going to go ahead and say it. So we're going to be unboxing the Labyrinth Tarot tonight. As always, I'll also be providing you the brief astro-weather at the top of the episode and the weekend forecast at the end of the episode. And in the middle of the episode, we have our newer feature that we've been doing for the last couple of months, the mid-episode reading, which is a chance to win a free reading with me live on the broadcast. And that's a compelling reason to tune in and stay tuned in live. Now, I do understand that not everyone can show up for each and every live episode, and that's fine. That's what the replays are for. But I always encourage people to come live to the episodes, Friday night episodes, if you can and when you can, because that way we have some interaction. And if you have any questions about this topic or any other topic, you can ask your questions and I can answer you just live on the broadcast. And also, you're doing that, you're asking of a question is not just doing it for yourself, it's also doing it for other people that may have the same question as you, but don't have the bravery or the confidence to ask it. So not only doing it for yourself, you're also doing it for other people that might not speak up otherwise. So, okay, breathe in, breathe out. Sometimes I talk a lot and then I forget to take a breath and a pause. So let me grab my water and actually let me throw together an overlay so that you have the agenda off on the sidebar so you can take a look, and it guides you and it also guides me. Earlier today, I actually did a quick live mail call episode over on the gram of Insta, and that was really fun because I got a package from Jamie, which includes a certain deck that I'm going to have to do a separate unboxing on. So I'm really I'm really looking forward to that. And it's also resulted in me downloading a game that I haven't played, but I want to play, and also sharing that game with my husband too. Okay. And let me just show you what that is. So this is going to be another separate unboxing, but it is the Diablo the Sanctuary tarot deck and guidebook. Weigh the past and seize your destiny wherever the darkened path may lead with the Sanctuary tarot deck and guidebook, inspired by the magic-infused mythos of Blizzard Entertainment's Diablo franchise. So I, as a young lass, played Diablo 1 and 2. I never got around to playing 3, and apparently there is a 4th game coming out. It's not out yet, but I know that Diablo 3 is out. So we are going to be downloading that. Actually, we're downloading it as we speak, so that I can play that, and I can also introduce my husband to that series of games because he's never played Diablo before. But I have the companion tarot deck now, so I'm going to have to do a separate unboxing video for that, most likely on the live stream, because why not? I know that people enjoy the live stream unboxings, but I usually do have to break it up a little bit, and I usually don't want to do back-to-back weeks with unboxing videos. I usually like to break it up with a different topic. So, but tonight's episode is unboxing the Labyrinth Tarot deck and guidebook by Insight Editions. I believe the artwork is by, it was the same artist that did the Tarot del Toro, Tomas Hijo, I believe. Yes. Art by Tomas Hijo and forward by Brian Froud. We'll talk about who the Frauds are. Freuds or Frauds. I can never pronounce their name correctly. And the guidebook is written, I believe, by Minerva Siegel. Yes, Minerva Siegel, who also did fantastic guidebooks for some of the other tarot decks that I've done unboxings for, such as the Nightmare Before Christmas tarot deck, Nightmare Before Christmas tarot deck, the Disney Villains tarot deck. I believe she also did the companion book for. I feel like there was another that I'm just forgetting right now. But yeah, so that is our unboxing for tonight. That is the main topic of tonight's episode. But first, we want to get into the astrology from Teresa Reed's wonderful Astro Biz Digest. So I'm going to go ahead and throw that up here before I actually do the overlay. Not here, not here, here. And hopefully I can scroll over there. Actually, let me take that out. Here we go. So the AstroBiz Digest is a subscription of astrology in layman's terms, geared towards entrepreneurs and business owners, but I found it to be very helpful in my own personal life, straight to your email inbox. And it's by Teresa Reed, aka the Tarot Lady, who is an astrologer as well as being a tarot reader. And the link to get a subscription of your own is right here, displayed on screen. It's also in the chat if you'd like to click on there to get your own copy. I would encourage you not to go there right now. Stick with me for the rest of this episode, and then you can go ahead and click away at the end of the episode. But the AstroBiz Digest I find to be very, very helpful. And so this is how you normally start each episode of the live stream, with astrology for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to take you into the weekend prepared, not scared, and also give you kind of an overview on any transits that might be happening during the week as well. So I see that Katie is here. Hello, Katie. Welcome to the broadcast. Always nice to see you. Yeah, so that's the AstroBiz Digest. And while I hide this and quickly make an overlay, because because I quickly made an intro video, which I don't know. I feel like it cuts off a little too early now, so I'm going to have to look into that. Let me go back to my designs and do an overlay for the unboxing. In the meantime, though, I can do an overlay that I know is popular for everyone, and this is like bringing it back. This is like an old school overlay that I've done before that people seem to miss. There you go. Remember this? You remember this overlay? The stars? Let's leave that up there while I make the other one. Let's see. It's this one. And unboxing the Labyrinth Tarot. Hopefully I didn't misspell things. And I'm going to try and make this a little bit smaller. Move things up a little bit more so that I'm not... So I tried to do this before, realizing that I hadn't moved it up quite enough. But I also don't want to have it completely be in my face either. You'll see why in this. You'll see what I'm talking about in a second. Live stream, unboxing. Yeah, that'll work. Download with a transparent background so you can still see my face. And while I'm doing that, I'm also going to pull up the Astro Biz Digest. Which I think the big transit that's happening this week, off the top of my head, is the full moon tomorrow. And I believe the full moon is in the sign of Leo tomorrow. Yes. Cosmos is quieter this week. There are no major planets changing signs. In fact, the only big event occurs on Sunday. Oh, sorry. For some reason, I thought it was Saturday. Sunday, when the full moon in Leo arrives in all of its glitzy glory. All right. Katie knows. Yes, pretty stars. Katie knows. I do like it. I do like the stars. Maybe I can combine the two. Actually. Elements. Twinkling stars, shooting stars, white stars, gold stars. That's actually rather pretty. Image. Background remover there. Let's try this again. I'll give you stars. I'll give you a little bit of stars. Let's see if this works. Yeah, exactly. So the cosmos are quiet, but the full moon in Leo, Katie is correct, is big enough on its own. I would agree with you, Katie. All right, that's downloaded. All right, let's see. Add overlay. Can I add two? Oh, I can't. Can I? No, I can't. I can't apply both, but I can do one. So let me do this one. See if you guys like this one. There we go. And so a little sparkle, a little sparkle in the top corner here, little gold sparkle in the top corner here. And we've got the agenda on this side. So we have the agenda here, and we're into the astro-weather from Theresa Reed's wonderful Astro Biz Digest right now. That QR code that's up top, that is a link to, that's right to my website, to tarotbyhilary.com. If you want to use that QR code to get to my website to book a reading. And then we have all of the other aspects along the side. So we will be doing that in order. And, you know, I'll point to each one as we go. I hope you like it. I hope you enjoy it. But for right now, we're in the astro-weather from Theresa Reed. And also, I do want to remind people to stay tuned to be considered for a live tarot reading. So that is the mid-episode reading that I am talking about. And we might be using the Meraki, the Meraki, sorry, not Meraki Tarot, or we can even use the Labyrinth once we've unboxed it too. So, but again, you have to keep tuned in live in order to be eligible to put your name in the hat to be considered for a live reading. Okay. I'm going to hide that and put that and da-da-da. And Jenny is here. Jenny, greetings. Nice to see you. Yes, that's exactly what I tried to do. And it all fits with your information above the comments. Yay. Yes, that's what I was trying to do. Because I keep on trying to like eyeball it. And sometimes the eyeballing it just does not work. Sometimes I will have to like take screenshots and then upload that screenshot into Canva in order to like break things out in such a way that I know exactly like what's going to be covering my face. Or sometimes if I have an interview, I have to do the interview screenshot, and that way I can see exactly where the borders are going to go. And then of course, select a transparent background so that, you know, our faces can peek through it. Anyway, behind the scenes kind of stuff, right? And Fran. Hi, Fran. Nice to see you too. I'm glad you made it. Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to put that below. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put that here. Okay, so you're just in time for the astro-weather from Theresa Reed. Okay, so Cosmos is quieter this week. No major planets changing signs. The only big event occurs on Sunday when the full moon is in Leo, arrives in all of its glitzy glory. This lunation happens at 1:29 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and signals the completion of a significant creative cycle. What did you begin 6 months ago when the new moon in Leo opened the doors of opportunity? Are there accomplishments you want to crow about? This is your day to celebrate your successes. Don't play the humble brag routine. Instead, Leo favors being loud about it. Toot your horn like you're in a brass band. Be proud of what you've achieved and let your community celebrate with you. If you feel like throwing a party, do it. Invite your peers or fave clients and let her rip. Yay. So that's a big deal. And like Katie was saying before, that's enough. Like the cosmos is quiet, but Sunday with the full moon in Leo, like that is enough. So that's the major event. Okay. So keep that in mind. So now we'll go into Friday. Woo. So nice. So nice. She said hello twice. Actually, let me grab this. Hopefully I didn't knock anything over back there because I need my water because it is warm in here. Like the cold snap that's happening right now has just like made my apartment be an inferno, which is fine. It's fine. I would rather there be heat than than the boiler go out. That would really suck. I'm not saying I'm not complaining. Okay, so For Friday, Friday starts off on a rocky note when the moon opposes Mercury at 7:09 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Communication goes sideways, the public is crabby, and the news cycle is dramatic. Sleep in if you can. You'll be better off for it. This vibe clears up in about 2 hours so you can get back on your grind soon enough. Creativity bumps up to a million notches when the moon trines Neptune at 3:02 p.m. Put aside some time to work on projects then. It's also an excellent aspect for biz intuition. If you get a hunch, follow it. It may lead to something exciting. Close up shop when the sun squares Uranus at 9:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you better believe this live stream will be over before then. The egomaniacs, wannabe dictators, and trollish types will be looking for a word war. Please don't give it to them. Today, Friday, February 3rd, is a power day for Cancer and a weak day for Capricorn. And let me hydrate. Yeah. That's a good plan too. Fran says, I will be asleep. Yeah, me too. Me too, or I'll be playing Diablo 3. That's probably what I'm gonna end up doing. All right. Okay, so for Saturday and Sunday, the weekend is made for visibility. Why? The Leo moon, baby. This is your nudge to kick out the jams with presentations, live streams, fresh marketing, and plenty of multimedia appearances. Saturday's Moon Jupiter trine at 5:34 p.m. is divine for publishing, PR campaigns, and biz travel. It's also your best time to do something big and splashy. Channel your inner Liberace and you can wow the public. The evening becomes tense when Venus squares Mars at 10:29 p.m. This is not a good night for gatherings or online drama. Avoid at all costs. Sunday is tense at 10:08 a.m. when the moon squares Uranus. The public is unpredictable, the internet is a hot mess, and social media is full of meanies. This will blow over in about 2 hours, so avoid that period and you'll be golden. The full moon is alive and kicking at 1:29 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I've already mentioned what the full moon in Leo means. Once that occurs, the rest of the day is easy peasy, ideal for PR or pampering. Both days are power days for Leo and week days for Aquarius. So now that we have the overall theme of the week, astrological weather for the week, especially with that full moon in Leo, and details for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I do want to open up the floor for those of you who are just like, Monday was a little bit weird. Hilary, can you look at the AstroBiz Digest and tell me why that might have been? Or Tuesday was a little bit hinky, or I had a really great day on Wednesday, and I was just wondering what was going on in the planets that day to have that occur. Now is the time to ask before we get into unboxing the Labyrinth Tarot. I'm going to go right through this 20-ounce bottle. 20-ounce bottle of water. Try and keep myself as hydrated as possible. And I kind of want to put on some primer right now or some toner or something. Like I am just overheated in here. I have my sprays over here. I have my abundance spray. And I also have my aura cleanser spray. I definitely need more of this though. I only have a little bit left. I wouldn't recommend doing this for every kind of spray, but this spray is okay. If you have skin sensitivity or fragrance sensitivity, you may not want to spray something like this directly on your face. Let me put that in my cup holder. All right, speak now or forever hold your peace. And we will move on to the Labyrinth Tarot. We have no takers about the Astro Biz Digest. From what I remember, Tuesday was a little bit weird for me. There was one day that was like specifically heightened for intuition, and I used that day to get a couple of email readings done, which were absolutely like on point. The timing was on point, or at least my client said that timing was on point, and the reading was that more significant because the timing was so well done. So I'm just like, thanks, Astro Biz Digest. But like, I can't remember what day it was, but then at the beginning of the week there was like, I don't know, it was a weird day. Yeah. So like Monday for me around like 12:24 p.m. there was a Moon Venus square, and people were like just grumpy. So I avoided doing anything at that time, and then I think it was like either Tuesday or Wednesday, I think. Yeah. Okay, so Jenny says Tuesday afternoon I felt a bit off of my game. Yeah, Tuesday was clear, but it did say the shadow side of Gemini is distraction. So make sure you limit those if you don't want to squander the energy. So technically speaking, it was a power day for Gemini and a weak day for Sagittarius. So if you have a lot of Sagittarius in your chart, it might not have been as clear for you, but also there was apparently a bunch of distractions too. So. And Fran says, Tuesday, I was a giant witch all day. I would be curious if you have Sagittarius in your chart at key aspects. And that's part of the reason why I love the Astro Biz Digest is like when you do your natal chart and you kind of know where things are placed, you can start to see how the layman's terms, because Teresa is wonderful at explaining astrology in a way that like a lot of people can understand, but then knowing your birth chart, your natal chart, and seeing where things are placed can really take your understanding that you get from the Astro Biz Digest to like the next level. Because it's not like you're doing a chart for other people. It's more like you're understanding yourself. And by the way, you can calculate your natal chart for free at a couple of different websites. I would recommend cafeastrology.com or astro.com. Those two places have free natal chart interpretation available. So not only can you calculate your chart, get your chart calculated for you, but it also gives an explanation as to what Moon and Venus in the third house is, for example. Anybody else before we move on to the unboxing of the Labyrinth Tarot? Because I'm not going to put the Astro Biz Digest away until I feel ready to do so. Actually, I can just keep that tab open. All right. I'm not going to stand on ceremony. I'm going to get started and talk a little bit about the Labyrinth Tarot, and then I'm going to open it up. So the Labyrinth Tarot. So let me explain how I got this deck. My poor sainted husband took pity on me a couple of months ago. I was kind of sick. Did not have the COVID, did not have the panini, but I was feeling like stuffily and not so great, under the weather, basically. And we were supposed to go to someone's 40th birthday party, which was a 90s themed birthday party. So I'm just like, I was really excited about it. And I ended up feeling like so under the weather that I'm just like, I can't go. That would be really shitty of me to attend a party when I'm sick. You know, like that's just not cool of me. So I didn't go. And my husband and our friend went over to the mall, which is a very old phrase at this point. They went over to the mall and they ended up going over to, I think, Hot Topic and Spencer's Gifts to find 90s clothes or 90s themed clothes because and flannel as well. I do remember my husband was wearing a flannel. He went the grunge the grunge route, and so he had his blue flannel around his waist, and you know, a band t-shirt. So but because they went over to, I think they found 2 decks in Hot Topic and 1 deck in Spencer's. You know, he felt bad that I couldn't go, so he ended up buying not 1, not 2, but 3 tarot decks for me. And all of them were decks that I didn't previously own. So he really knocked it out of the park. I was surprised. I thought he would have at least repeated 1, but no, I had none of those decks. So that was very cool. And so because of that, I'm still going through and unboxing because I want to be able to spread out some of these unboxing videos. And then also, once I've unboxed the deck, that is the deck that I'm going to be working with for the next month. So, and that's also the reason why I haven't sent out my newsletter yet, my monthly newsletter yet, because I wasn't ready to start pulling my card of the day pulls or my you know, the energy of the day pulls from my next deck yet until I unboxed it, you know. So the 3 decks that he purchased for me, and I'm going to wait for this to pop. That is so sweet. I know Fran, isn't that adorable? He really is a great husband and partner. And, you know, it's not easy. It's not easy to be married to a psychic. It's not easy to be married to a witch or a professional psychic or tarot reader. And, you know, by the way, there are a bunch of articles on my website about the proposal that nearly never happened because I kept on ruining my own marriage proposal because I just kept on seeing it and just saying what I was seeing. And it, like I said, it's probably not fun to be in a relationship with a tarot reader. There are ways to surprise us. And I do have advice on how to surprise people like us if you are trying to surprise us. And it's going with the moment and not necessarily with the plan. But yeah, you can check that out on my website, tarotbyhilary.com, and just look for like keyword search marriage or proposal in the search thing in the sidebar. You'll be able to find it pretty quickly. And if you don't, let me know and I'll drop a link in here. But anyway, so the 3 decks that he purchased were the Nightmare Before Christmas tarot deck. And that's the one that I started working with right away because it was like for October. So it made sense. Then the Disney Villains tarot deck, and then this one, the Labyrinth. So I've been like off and on, integrating different decks into rotating different decks as my deck of the month that I do my card of the day pulls from. And then last month for January, as of today, I pulled my last card from the Meraki Tarot. That was a surprise, and that was a gift that I got from also from Jamie Elford. She backed the Kickstarter for the Meraki Tarot, and this is the 2nd edition, and I believe they are working on a 3rd edition for the Meraki Tarot. So that was a surprise. I thought that I was going to go with Labyrinth for January, and I ended up getting this deck. So I was just like, let me switch this in, do this for January, do this for February. So that is the explanation. And yes, it's very sweet. I appreciate him a lot. So, Labyrinth Tarot. This is a tarot deck and guidebook from Insight Editions. You can find out more about it on insighteditions.com. It is approved by the Jim Henson Company. So Jim Henson's mark and logo, Labyrinth mark and logo characters and elements are trademarks of the Jim Henson Company. Motion picture, copyright 1986, Labyrinth Enterprises, all rights reserved. So Insight Editions have really been snatching up fun pop culture properties and doing really good tarot decks with them. I've been pleasantly surprised because like the Disney Villains Tarot works very well. That was also from Insight Editions, as was the Nightmare Before Christmas tarot deck. And also I believe the Tarot del Toro is another Insight Editions deck. The Tarot del Toro I actually got from a friend and client of mine that was just like, I have this deck, but I'm just not using it. Do you want it? And I'm just like, yes, yes, sure. And it's actually encouraged me to look into more of Guillermo del Toro's work, even though I am a bit of a chicken, and watch some of his movies like Crimson Peak or Pan's Labyrinth. I am familiar with Hellboy 1 and 2. I have not watched the newest Hellboy, though, because, you know, Ron Perlman is my Hellboy, and I'm sticking to it. Hashtag not my Hellboy. So it's actually made me more open to consuming more of the work of Guillermo del Toro. And this is actually a question that I got asked before when I did my mail call over on the gram of Insta, talking a little bit about Diablo, because I don't know how this is going to be, but someone was asking me, do you have to be familiar with the game in order to be able to like use that tarot deck? And I'm just like, yeah, I think so, but I don't know that for sure because I haven't opened it yet. So we'll open that together probably next month if I don't get another deck before then, and we'll find out for ourselves. But I would probably encourage, like, if you're familiar with that person's works, like I'm sure a person that's more familiar with Guillermo del Toro probably would get more out of the Tarot del Toro than I did. That's just facts. Anyway, so again, Labyrinth Tarot, art by Tomas Hijo. Speaking of the Tarot del Toro, Tomas Hijo was also the artist for that deck. And the foreword is by Brian Froud. I will tell you why that's awesome in a second. And the guidebook interpretations are by Minerva Siegel. Now, I was saying before, Minerva Siegel also did the guidebook for the Disney Villains Tarot, for the Nightmare Before Christmas Tarot. So, you know, and I think that she has a really great understanding of the tarot, and made it very accessible. Made a guidebook that's very accessible to people, even if that deck happens to be their first tarot deck. So, so discover the secrets of the labyrinth with this official tarot deck inspired by Jim Henson's cult classic film starring David Bowie, featuring Sarah, Jareth, Hoggle, and more as classic tarot characters and original illustrations. This deck also includes a foreword from Brian Froud, artist and production designer on the original film. And the Frouds, by the way, are also did the Fairy Oracle and the Heart of the Fairy Oracle, if you're familiar with those. All right, let's open this up. Now, I like to use my embroidery scissors for opening up tarot decks, specifically to take the cellophane or the plastic wrapping off of them so that I don't damage the deck underneath. So I try to go gently, and notice how it's got like a nice sharp beak there, the pelican. But you want to be really careful when opening a deck, especially if you're opening it with something like this because it is sharp. Please don't poke yourself. Please don't cut yourself. So I just usually go into like the corner and poke on the surface so that I'm not actually poking into the deck box itself. And I'm going to say, you know, I'm really liking the packaging of the boxes that Insight Editions puts these tarot decks in, because it's not necessary for you to then transfer them to a different like silk or a tarot bag, or, you know, something different to carry them in. It's not necessary when you have good packaging. I also say that in my tarot book, How to Read Tarot, specifically in the chapter on choosing your deck and opening up your deck, you know, the packaging has become, you know, really good. And previously, sometimes you would have kind of like very thin cardboard boxes for the tarot, which really didn't protect the edges of a tarot deck. You would end up getting foxed edges or bending, or, you know, it wouldn't protect the deck. This as protected. So it's not necessary to put your tarot deck into a different packaging, unless, of course, you want to, which is fine. So this is a true unboxing. This is first impressions of this deck. And we'll try and go through maybe not all 78 of the cards, but we'll flip through, and I'm going to give my first impressions. Ooh, ribbon. Very nice. New deck smell, also very nice. Big fan. So you have the companion book on top, Labyrinth Tarot Deck and Guidebook. And you have this little ribbon there. So you can just pull at the ribbon to lift. What I normally like to do with the ribbon, by the way, is when I have it like this, so whoever packaged this left it like this, I usually like to take the deck, have it be at the base, right? So you've got the ribbon, right? That so that you can lift the tarot deck. But then when you got the tarot deck in the box, I like to lay the ribbon across like so, and then put the companion book on top so that there's a little bit more of a separation. But then this particular ribbon doesn't seem to be long enough to be able to then pull the guidebook up and then pull the tarot deck up separately. Small gripes. Not a deal breaker, though. So we have, and then we have the tarot deck here, starting with the Fool. And the Fool for this particular deck looks like it's Sarah, the main protagonist of this movie. You pull up, and I like that. I like that you've got the stripies, the red and white stripies, which is indicative of Toby, her little baby brother's pajamas. Or at least that's what I think it is. And then the backs look like this. Please let me know if anyone has any questions. Feel free to drop them into the chat as we go. And I'm going to put this down here in front of me, and I'm going to take a look at the guidebook here. So the foreword, Labyrinth, the movie, was born in the back of a limousine. Jim Henson, Wendy Froud, and I were driving away from the San Francisco premiere of The Dark Crystal when we looked at one another and said, "What's next?" At first, our minds soared with images of flying mythological gods, but we soon descended to more earthbound inner world realms, and the vision of a human baby surrounded by fantastical goblin creatures emerged. We agreed that the labyrinth would serve not only as a physical location to anchor our developing story, but as a perfect metaphor for the human psyche's journey through the convoluted pathways of a cosmic world of mystical revelations. Well, that was the plan. So it's like an Alice in Wonderland kind of parable laid over the surface of Labyrinth. But Sarah's journey is profound on many levels and takes the viewer on their own personal journey as well. This is also what the tarot deck and guidebook does. Leads the questioner on a personal pathway through the labyrinth and all the revelations, both expected and unexpected, that reside within. The genius of Tomas Iho's cards is that they are rooted in the tradition of the Rider-Waite deck, yet they feel like they've been crafted by the goblins themselves, stained with the spirit of wry wisdom and incised with mordant humor. In this deck, the turn of a card is a turn in the labyrinth, where quirky characters are wise and perceptive, as well as deceptive and at times frustrating, but above all, suffused with the benign anarchy of Jim Henson's unique vision. So turn over a card and step onto the path the labyrinth awaits you. Very cool. Very cool. Ooh, agree. So I am going to take you through the main cards, the major arcana cards, and then the suits in this particular deck are, let's see, poles. I'm going to assume that poles are wands. There's poles, there's junk, there's feathers, and there's pots. So I'm assuming pots are going to be cups. Feathers are going to be, I don't know, looks like swords. Junk looks like pentacles or coins, and poles look like wands. All right. So let's get into it. And unsurprisingly, the Fool in this deck is Sarah. The Magician is the Goblin King, Jareth. The High Priestess, I can't tell who that is. Oh. The High Priestess represents someone as mysterious, respected, and powerful as the goblin Zitzi, who carries fearsome magical elements in her handbag. Okay. So sometimes some of these might not be immediately recognizable, and that's when you got to go to the guidebook. Yeah, that's what I did use, Jenny. Hopefully cards give good clues to which suit. Yeah, I was looking at the 9 of Feathers, and I saw that it was like the card of nightmares. So I was just like, oh, well, then 9 of Feathers, that would be 9 of Swords. So I figured it out. Figured it out. The Empress. I don't know if I like that choice. The Empress is a strong maternal figure like Toby's mother, who is also Sarah's stepmother. Let's see. Emperor, I believe, is Toby's father. Toby and Sarah's father. Sarah's father, yeah. Hierophant is Hoggle, or Hoggle. Values order and tradition as he takes his role in society just as seriously as Hoggle takes his job, or Hoggle takes his job in the labyrinth. Instead of the lovers card, it's the dancers. Represent two people perfectly in step with each other, beautifully, blissfully dancing through life. The chariot is Sir Didymus. Like Sir Didymus charging forward astride his trusty steed, Ambrosius, the chariot represents momentum, movement, and bravely taking charge. By the way, I love this group that I'm a member of, but I don't post, I just watch, called Dog Spotting Society. And I think there's at least 2, if not 3 dogs in there that are named Sir Didymus, after Sir Didymus in the Labyrinth. So cute. Strength represents a composed, powerful, commanding presence, like that of the mechanical giant who guards the Goblin City, humongous. You know, some of these characters, I didn't realize they actually had names. I didn't realize that the mechanical giant goblin was named humongous. I mean, obviously it fits though. The hermit. The hermit, like the wise man, is a solitary, introverted figure who spends a significant amount of time reflecting deeply on life. These are beautiful. You can't say that Tomas Hijo doesn't have a certain kind of style. There's definitely a style here. Wheel of Fortune. Sarah draws arrows on cobblestones with lipstick as a strategy for keeping track of her path through the labyrinth. However, the brick keepers secretly twist and turn the bricks, confusing her. The Wheel of Fortune represents twists of fate and the constant nature of change. Like that. I like that a lot. That's really cool. Justice are the hands, the helping hands. Just as the helping hands gives Sarah the choice to go up or down, justice represents fairness, rewards, and consequences. Cool. Very cool. The hanged man is Ludo. Oh, there he is. I couldn't quite tell because he's the hanged man. He's hanging upside down. There he is. Represents someone who, like captive Ludo, has experienced an unexpected setback and is currently in a state of suspension and limbo. Aw, Ludo. Fate. What is fate? Oh, so this must be the death card then. For number 13, Fate. The Goblin King Jareth is skilled in the art of transformation, which is a theme of fate. This card represents change, transition, and metamorphosis. So that's a renaming there. The death card is Fate instead. Temperance is the door knockers. Represents balance, stability, self-control, and duality. The sentient, bickering door knockers adorn a pair of identical doors. Good sense and patience are required to figure out which door to pass through. And instead of being the devil, it's the demon. The playful Fieries prove to be dangerous, though they mean no harm. Oh, that's good. Though they mean no harm, the playful Fieries prove to be dangerous. They get too caught up in their games to realize their actions could hurt Sarah. The demon represents vice, excess, temptation, and behaviors that lead to negative consequences. I like that interpretation. Yeah, Katie says, nice overlap of characters with the movie. This seems really well done and thought through. Yeah, exactly. Now, I can say that about the major arcana, but sometimes the minor arcana can be a little bit harder to place through the entirety of the movie or the entirety of the theme. Like I had some problems, a little bit of problems with the Disney Villains tarot deck with their minor arcana and what they how they chose to depict certain things. But I can understand it's hard to find 78 cards that will exactly match. You know what I mean? All right, the Tower. The tower represents unexpected, sometimes catastrophic change, such as the one Sarah experiences when Toby is whisked away by goblins to Jarrett's castle. I like it. I like it. Oh, the star. The star is Lancelot. Star represents trust, renewal, and hope. It offers comfort and reassurance like Sarah's favorite childhood toy, Lancelot the teddy bear. Aww. The peach. So the moon card is the peach. The peach that Jareth forces Hoggle to give Sarah is much more than a simple snack. One bite whisks her away to a dreamlike masked ball. Of course, it's all an illusion. Illusion is one of the key themes of the moon, which serves as a reminder that things aren't always what they seem. I like that. I like that a lot. The sun. The sun radiates with happiness and youthful vitality, just like little Toby. Makes sense. He is the child in the movie, and the sun is usually depicted with usually a male child with golden curls on atop a white horse. Instead, this is a rocking horse, and the sun looks a little bit creepy. Just saying. And then Judgment. Judgment is the door guards. Block 2 doors, and Sarah must choose which to go through. They explain that one door leads to the castle and one leads to certain death. While the predicament you're faced with may not be as dire as Sarah's, Judgment represents pivotal decisions that can have major consequences. And then finally, the World card is the Labyrinth itself. Life, like the labyrinth, is full of twists, turns, and challenges. The world represents the completion of a long adventure and the bright beginnings of a new one. There you go. So that's the major arcana of the labyrinth. So what is everyone thinking about that? I'm going to go ahead and shuffle up the majors themselves before I move on to the minors. Now, we can do the mid-episode reading with the Labyrinth Tarot, but then again, we have all of these cards in order, starting with the King of Poles. So starting with the court cards of the, looks like the wands. So I would probably like to give the mid-episode reading using either the Radiant Rider-Waite-Smith or the Meraki Tarot. So, yes. Yeah. I do too, Fran. I need to rewatch the movie. I think so too. I really like that the box is Toby's pajamas. That's cool. All right, I'm going to do the mid-episode reading not using this deck because we still have to go through the minor arcana, and the minor arcana is in order right now. Oh, I just looked at the I think it was the Page of Feathers. Oh, Ace of Feathers. Look at the Ace of Feathers. So freaking cute. Okay. I will admit that this is another deck, and I should have known that with Thomas Heho's work, it was going to be a non-illustrated pips deck. And once again, we have a deck with non-illustrated pips. So like six of feathers. 6 of feathers. So it's just 6 feathers on a plain background. So you do have to watch out for that. Same thing with, and I can't even tell what some of this is because you don't have anything below. You do have it for the aces. You do have it for the court cards. but you don't have it for like the two of pots. It's just two pots. So that might be a little bit difficult to work with if you are a newer reader. Just putting that out there. All right, let me put this to the side and let's do the mid-episode reading. So for those of you who are new to the broadcast, this is a relatively new feature of the live stream in which we break in the middle of the episode and we do the mid-episode reading. And this is for one lucky viewer that is here live. And we will take the picker wheel and we will put your name in the hat, and then the picker wheel will choose who gets the mid-episode reading. So to be considered for the mid-episode reading, let's use something Labyrinth related. I usually ask people to put a word that's related to the to whatever topic we're doing. So let's do I'm going to say Jareth. A sucker for David Bowie. So, in order to be considered for a live reading, drop the word or the name Jareth into the chat, and I will put your name in the picker wheel. And maybe you'll win a live reading. All right, Jenny is in. All right, Jenny, your name is officially in the picker wheel for the mid-episode reading. Oh no, Sophia. Yeah, that's fine. It's okay. It's okay. Sophia's here. Hello. Slept through my alarm. That's fine, Sophia. You're just here in time for the mid-episode reading. So feel free to put the word Jareth into the chat to be considered. And Fran has put Jarrett, which is close enough. So Fran is entered. Adding that. Okay. Yeah, maybe I should have picked an easier name, like Sarah or Toby, but you know, Goblin King, David Bowie, come on. Also, I had a very funny joke when I watched this movie when I was in my 20s, and I was very disturbed by the number Dance Magic, because I was just like, wow, his codpiece is like really close to that baby. Like really, really close. So I called it David and his Bowie. Not David Bowie, David and his Bowie. I thought it was funny. Oh. Jarrett. That's Bowie's frat guy persona. I like it, Sophia. A good excuse, yes. And while people are doing that, so currently we have Jenny and Fran. And I think everyone that's in here right now is eligible, because I think last week we had Patricia. Patricia, I think, won the mid-episode reading last week. So, ooh, that's good, and it has alliteration. I've always called it his Bowie bulge. Yes, it is the Bowie bulge. Also, he made me feel things. I'm just like what year did that come out? It came out in 1986, right? I was just like, I was 5 years old. But I didn't really understand like why I liked the movie. I was a little too young to understand it. But then like, you know, I grew up, and like when I was around 10 or 11, I would like watch it all the time. It was a problem. And I would like recite the whole beginning part you know, the part that Sarah recites where it's just like, she's got the little book and she's got her white dress and, you know, her little like headdress and the flower crown and everything. She's like, you have no power over me, etc. Yes. I'm gonna wait for that comment. LOL, Sophia. Bowie Bulge. Yes, Sophia. R.I.P. Bowie Bulge. Never forgotten. Dirty birdies, all of you. Can you just drop the word Jareth, please? Let's move on from the Bowie Bulge. Even though I brought it on myself by saying something. I think it's like a great thing that Jareth is the magician card in this deck. He couldn't have been anything else, right? All right, so Katie says Jareth, and Sophia says Jareth. All right, so we've got Katie, add, Sophia, add. All right, we've got 4 people in the running tonight. That is like, I think that might be a new record. Let me give it another minute. See if anybody else comes in. See if anybody else wants to put their name in the hat. But I think that's a new record for the live stream. Yeah. Jenny, I really need to rewatch the movie. Yeah. I do too. I mean, it has been literal years since I've seen it, but there are some things that are perpetually imprinted on my memory, and the Bowie Bulge is permanently imprinted on my memory, as is Sarah's speech at the beginning, even though I can't remember any of it now. Through what was it? Through Trials Unknown. Maybe they have it in here. Maybe they have it in here for the Fool card, which is Sarah. Oh, and I wanted to see if there was a particular. Yes, there is. Yep. There's a couple of spreads back here. Things aren't always what they seem spread, where it has the Masquerade, the Goblin, and Wisdom. You have no power over me spread, which is a 4-card spread with the Castle, the Labyrinth, your strength, and getting through the Labyrinth. And then the Door Knocker's Conundrum, which is door number 1, door number 2, and behind door number 1 and behind door number 2. And a 5th card for a word of advice. That's pretty cool. I keep on forgetting to do like the spreads that are at the back of some of these books. Lucy. Yeah, Katie says, any excuse to rewatch the movie is a good idea. I would agree. All right, no other takers. I think we have enough. I think we do. Let me go ahead and from tab, pick a reel, share tab audio, obviously. Move it up to here. Oh, I can full screen it. That's nice. I didn't even realize I could do that. Cool. I'm not going to do that yet because I want to make sure that everyone sees that their names are in there. Fran says, looks like it's on Netflix. And Jenny says, thanks, Fran. Yes, thank you. I'm pretty sure I have it on DVD. Pretty darn sure. But, you know, DVD has gone the way of the dodo too. Though I can put it onto like our Xbox. I can slap a DVD in there and watch a DVD. Can't do it on my computer anymore though, because the newer computers or laptops that have come out doesn't have a CD-ROM slot. I'm old. All right. So let's see. Hide that. Let's take away the overlay. While it's very pretty, it's going to block out our picker wheel here. And I also want to show that we have everyone in here. Let me bump up. There we go. So I always want to be very transparent about a contest like this. So all of your names are in there. That put in the keyword Jareth into the chat. So Jenny's in there. Fran is in there. Katie is in there. Sophia is in there. Okay? Good? Yes? Good? All right. Let me hide that. Close that. Put full screen. And hopefully people can see all of this. Yes, can we see? Are we ready to go? All right, spinning the wheel. I don't know what just happened. It stopped. It just stopped mid-spin. What the heck happened? It literally just cracked out mid-spin. I have no idea what just happened. All right, let's try that again. What's going on? The picker wheel does not want to cooperate tonight. Right? I'm blaming Uranus. I'm blaming Uranus too. All right. Usually I can watch this while you're watching it, but I guess I can't. So I'm just going to stay on the tab. I'm going to stay on the picker wheel tab. Yeah, LOL. So funny. Apparently Jenny needs a reading bad. Yeah, but it didn't actually select. Sorry, guys. All right, I'm going to try this one more time. Yikes. Whew. Now I know what I needed to do. I know what I needed to do. That was my mess up. Sorry. So Fran, you've won the reading. And I'll know what to do next time. I need to stay on that tab while I'm doing the picker wheel. Otherwise it craps out. I don't know why that is. It's never done that before. So Fran has won the mid-episode reading. So Fran, I am going to pull from the Radiant Rider-Waite-Smith that I have, and you can feel free to Sophia's like new year, new wheel. maybe I need to find another picker wheel, but this one has been like good for us, so I don't know why it's decided to crap out now. What the heck, man? All right, so Fran, what you want to do is you want to put your question to the tarot into the chat, and I will pull 3 cards. I will give you a 3-card reading right here live on the episode from the Radiant Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot, which is my go-to tarot deck. And I'm going to put this overlay back up. And it's quiet quitting. Oh, God, I hate that phrase. I hate it so very much. Yeah, I mean, if you guys have suggestions for another picker wheel, I'm all ears. But like pickerwheel.com was my favorite one. Oh, here's one that's Wheel of Names. That's kind of cute. Interesting. Yeah, that might work better. I'm looking at that while we wait for Fran. Okay, so you could do magic ziploc, go analog. Ugh. Do you know how much clutter I have on my bed right now, which is like serving as a side table for my broadcasting? No, thank you. I don't need to add to the clutter. Anyway, so Fran's question is in. So Fran is asking, things are changing at work. Is it time to move on to another department? All right. Well, Fran, what I'm feeling for you is not only the tarot, but I'm also going to pull again oracle card too after I do the tarot. So let me grab that. All right. All right. And you know, if you happen to be a tarot reader watching this live stream and you want to pull a couple cards for Fran on her question, by all means, do it. Do it and let us know what's coming up for Fran in the chat, so she's got more information, more help to deal with the situation. So shuffling. It's a time to move on to another department. Time to move on to another department. All right. Short answer is yes, I do think so. Now, the cards that are coming up, you do have 2 out of the 3 cards that are coming up are upright, which means that I think you have more control over the situation than you imagine that you do. And the very first card that's coming up is Justice. So right now, like if you're feeling that change is very like limbo-y, or it's just like I could go this way or I could go this way, the Justice card is kind of like giving you an acknowledgement that it's just like there is this kind of fork in the road that you're experiencing. It also feels like with this Justice card coming up that it's just like the changes at work might be coming from above, which feels like a new management, possibly like new bosses, and also has the sense of like, oh, here's the new boss, same as the old boss, in the immortal words of the Who. I think it's the Who. Yeah. So really like acknowledge your feelings right now and acknowledge that it's just like it's a little bit tricky, it's a little precarious, but you do have more control over your situation than you think you do. But like it's all information that's coming up for you. Now, the middle card is the 5 of Wands coming up reversed. And to me, that card is great coming up reversed because like the alternative to the 5 of Wands coming up upright is just like, oh my God, like there's a lot of group work and people are arguing. And it's just like, all we need to do is build this damn house. And it's just like, my stick is bigger than your stick is bigger than my stick. And it's like 5 people, 5 wands. Everyone's got a different opinion. Everyone's got a different perspective, you know, which causes nothing to get accomplished. But with the reversal of the 5 of Wands, it's just like you're seeing the way to be able to get things done. And though people might not be agreeing with you at this time, you kind of have that knowledge of how to navigate the situation so that you're still in good stead and you can start to make the transition to another department on the down low a little bit so that you're not having to like completely rock the boat because it's already precarious enough. You can start to like make some small steps towards moving to another department. Now, the reason why I'm saying it's a yes is because your last card is the 3 of Wands. 3 of Wands is looking out to the horizon, feeling a little bit in between, much like the Justice card, but also looking out to the horizon and knowing that there's something bigger for you out there. There's something more to your life than just this. Do you know what I mean? It's just like there has to be something more than this. So I think it's a big yes. Does that make sense to you? Let me know in the chat, and I'm going to pull an oracle card for you as well. And the Oracle deck I'm using is the Work Your Light Oracle. Like, what do you most need to know at this time? It's not just an oracle on the question, but it's more of an oracle card for what's the best advice right now, or what do you most need to know at this time? So you're getting the Council of Light card. The Council of Light card comes up when you like kind of need to ask for help, but you're shy about asking for help. But there is an actual like companion interpretation that I'm going to pull out here from the book. Council of Light, divine orchestration, helpers in the subtle realms, which is a really beautiful card. So let me. Council of Light is an activation card. So you can do the activation if you want to. But the Council of Light is a team of benevolent beings who are here to assist the raising of consciousness on this planet. They're here to help you achieve your soul mission and are guiding you every step of the way. But because we live in a world where free will reigns, they cannot help you without your permission. If you would like their assistance, it's time to ask them. They can help with all kinds of requests. Nothing is too big or too small. Think of them as your personal team of helpers in the spirit realm. They are willing and ready to step in and get to work. What would you like help with? What tasks would you like to delegate to them? The Council of Light is a team of ascended masters, light beings, angels, and guides devoted to the rising of Earth and all humanity. If you're a light worker, it is from them that you receive your personal mission. Like a Spirit World United Nations, they want to thank you so much for doing this work and devoting your life to uplifting the planet. Pray to them for clarity and guidance regarding your personal mission, and then put in your requests and let them get to work. So the activation is you would hold the card to your heart and say, or you can just hold your hand to your heart and say, Council of Light, I am ready to receive your help for fulfilling my personal dharmic mission. Thank you for guiding me with clarity every step of the way and for sending me helpers and experiences that delight my mind, body, and soul. So let me know if the Oracle card helps you too. Because I know that the tarot cards did. Perfect sense. I've reached as high as I can go. Money there is no more room for growth. Yeah, you got to go. You got to go. And I wouldn't just say moving departments. You may also look a little bit wider with the Three of Wands coming up, because it might be that even within that company or that industry that you're in, it might be that it's just like even a lateral move. You're going to be moved, like the lateral move will also not have room for growth either. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like you're known for one thing there, and it's like you'll always be known for that one thing. So you might need to dream a little bit bigger, look a little bit more far afield. Woo! So thank you, Fran, for winning the mid-episode reading, and it's an honor and a pleasure to read for you. And for those of you who have participated tonight and were not able to win the mid-episode reading, that is A-okay. You just have to tune in next week for your next opportunity to win the mid-episode reading. Or if you would like to book a private session with me, you can do so on my website, tarotbyhilary.com, to book a private session. You can also do email readings too. You don't have to necessarily do a live reading with me, even though I do that over phone, Skype, Zoom, and in person. So, but you can also book an email reading with me too. I'm nodding my head like you can see me. Thank you so very much. You're very welcome. I can see you. Well, I can't see you, but I can feel you. I got you, Fran. I got you. And if you also want to go in more depth and see what else we can see in the cards for you and different opportunities, different ways for you to grow and go and what to look out for and who might be, open to helping you, feel free to book a reading on my website too. All right, let us continue with the episode and look a little bit at the minor arcana of the labyrinth. Let me come back down from my perch because that was an intense reading. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's just like sometimes I go in there for a quick reading and I end up going a little bit deeper than I realize. And then when I come back out, it's a little bit harder to come back out. So let me shuffle back up my deck. This is my go-to deck, by the way. This is my workhorse deck. Like most of the time when I'm getting on the phone with a client or on Zoom or on Skype with a client, this is the deck that I'll go to. It's the Radiant Rider-Waite-Smith with the stars on a deep blue background. I love it. It's my workhorse deck. Use it a lot. Love it. Where did I put my pouch? And for the weekend forecast, I think I'm going to pull from the Way of Bridget Oracle cards. I pulled one card for the weekend forecast because it is, after all, in bulk this week. So, all right, shove my cards back in there with my selenite and my little labradorite egg. My crystals. All right. So we are on the King of Poles. And like I said before, major arcana, okay, cool. I am noticing for the minor arcana that unfortunately this is a non-illustrated pips deck. I have a feeling that anything that Thomas Heho does in the way of tarot is going to have a non-illustrated pips for the minor arcana. And what I mean by that, again, is you'll see the court cards, court cards, are labeled underneath. So that's the King of Poles, the Queen of Poles, the Knight of Poles, the Page of Poles, and then the Ace. The Ace will also be labeled. Okay? But the rest of them, here's the 2 of Poles, the 3 of Poles, the 4, the 5. It may get difficult for you if you're not aware of like the Rider-Waite-Smith associations of the pips. If you can't see the illustration of like the 7 of Wands, for example, from a Rider-Waite-Smith deck in your mind when you're looking at the 7 of Wands in this deck, you might not be able to read with it quite as well. So like keep that guidebook handy. That's what it's there for, especially when you're learning a deck. Don't feel bad about that. Like even professional readers, like I'm going to keep this guidebook handy. Because I do want to say when I do these unboxings, like here's my process. The reason why I do some of these unboxings is one, I wanted to do more unboxing videos. That was just a little bit of a selfish thing that I wanted to do. That I was just like, I was seeing other people doing unboxing videos and I wanted to do it too. But yeah, Jenny, I agree with you. They're just not as interesting to me as illustrated pips. Totally agree. And they're harder to read. I think they're harder to read. But the thing is, so I started doing unboxing videos because I saw other people doing it and I wanted to be cool and do it too. But I've also found that I've gotten a little bit of a rhythm, a little bit of a routine with my unboxing videos where I'll do the unboxing video. I will then work with that deck for a full calendar month as the deck that I'm using for card of the day polls, which I then put up on social media. By the way, I am really, really excited about the podcast episode that I just recorded yesterday is step-by-step process on how I do my card of the day videos. Step by step. It is a longer podcast episode. I will say, like, I will warn you and I will give that warning in the show notes and say, like, get yourself a cup of tea, nice hot cup of tea, get yourself comfortable because this is definitely going to be a longer episode. But I know for a fact that it was helpful because I got the feedback right away because that was one of my live call-in show episodes. If you're interested in that, I do that every first Thursday of the month is the live call-in show for my podcast, and I film it over Zoom. with the intention that I wanted to hear other people's voices on my podcast. You can find out more about that, tarotbyhilary.com/podcasts, to see, which podcasts I'm involved in, and also to sign up for the next time that I do the live call-in show over Zoom, which I believe is March 2nd. Thursday, March 2nd at noon Eastern Standard Time is the next time that I'm going to be doing one. So if you're interested in that, go to that URL that I just said, and sign up through my Acuity, and it's completely free to attend one of those live call-in shows. So anyway, I'm very excited about that recording that I just did, but it talks a little bit about my process on doing card of the day filming, and how I do it step by step by step, and how you can do it step by step by step if that is your intention, to make your card of the day practice public like mine. Anyway, so I do the unboxing video. I work with that deck of the month for card of the day polls. And then once I've worked with it for a full month, working with that deck every single day, then I feel confident enough to start to offer readings to my clients with that deck. If I have a client that is, paying for a reading, I am not going to use a deck that I'm not familiar with. Even if there was one time that I did that, where I had a client, actually she's a regular client. I've been reading for her for years. She wanted me to read with her Thoth deck. And if you're I know Sophia's here, like, don't hurt me. I know you're very Tothy, and I'm not Tothy. But she was just like, please read, like, this deck has sentimental value to me. A friend of mine gave me this deck, and they have since passed away, and it is a deck that I love, and I would feel honored if you would read for me using this deck and these cards. And I'm just like, whoa, are you sure? Are you positive? And I'm just like, I'm not necessarily a Tothy kind of reader. And I was just like, we can try. I'm always willing to try, whether it's trying a different deck, or whether it's making contact or doing some mediumship in the tarot readings that I do. Again, a thing that I'm not entirely comfortable with, but it has happened. I'm like, terrified. Okay, Spirit speaking to me. Oh, how do I know this? I don't know how I know this. Oh, it's because your dead aunt is talking to me right now. Okay. But I always say I'll try. I like, oh, can I get a message from blah 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 blah, and I'll say, I don't consider myself a medium. If you want a medium, I can put you in touch with a couple of mediums that I know that are trained mediums. I am a tarot reader. Like, has it happened before that I've gotten messages from the other side using my tarot cards? Yes, it has. I'm not going to lie about that. However, does it happen all the time? No, it doesn't. But I am willing to try. Always willing to try, and I'm always willing to manage expectations while doing so. We can try. Okay. So that was using the Thoth deck with that client, was like the one time that I have ever used a tarot deck when I didn't feel entirely confident with that particular deck. And it worked, and I still read with that deck to this day for her. And I'll also bring over other decks too. It's just like, here, let's try out the Mary L Tarot, which can be like, Mary L Tarot is very fun. It's a fun mix of Rider-Waite-Smith and Thoth energy and symbolism. That deck, the Mary L Tarot, my Mary L Tarot, I normally don't use it with my clients because it's just it gets too deep too quick, and I've used it for shadow work, and so that it's kind of like indicated to me, no, I want to work with you and only you. So anyway, I digress hugely, but that's the reason why I like, if there are decks that I have that I currently don't have in rotation with clients, it's because I have not worked with that deck enough to feel confident to offer paid readings with it. And that's just a part of my ethics. So, ooh, I need to spray some more aura cleanser. But does that make sense to everybody? I hope it does. That reminds me, I have to get another setting spray. I should not be using aura cleanser as a setting spray. It's probably not a great idea. I do have setting sprays that I like, but I need to get more. There's two. This one I really like, but I'm running out of it. And then there's this one that I'm like saving. So Urban Decay Chill makeup setting spray, which is cooling and hydrating. That one's very good. And I really, really like this one from I'm gonna butcher this pronunciation. Ciate London. Everyday Vacay setting spray. This smells like a vacation, like a tropical vacation in a bottle. And I used it way too much, and now I don't have anything left. Ooh, and it's sticky too. Yeah. I have none of it left. I only kept the bottle so that I knew what I needed to get. Yeah, some of these jars and bottles behind here are not esoteric or mythical. They are makeup stuff. Anyway, let's get back into the pips, and then we'll sign off with a weekend forecast. So again, like not much to write home about on the non-illustrated pips. We're going with the, what is it, the poles? So the poles would be the wands suit. And there's 10 of poles right there, which I don't agree with. I don't agree with, because it's just 10 poles. You don't see the burden. You don't see the twigs or the wands on the back of the guy that's struggling. So it's just like, you have to kind of like think about that imagery from the Rider-Waite-Smith to remember, oh, 10 of wands or 10 of poles, burden. Or you just go to your guidebook. So I'm going to go to the guidebook. Like here. And I'm sure the 10 of poles is exactly that. Yeah, accomplishments often come with important responsibilities. You may be feeling overwhelmed by your duties or your workload, but delegating some of that will make things much more manageable. You don't have to do everything on your own. Let others pull their weight and play their part. And there is a good part of this this particular companion book. Again, Minerva Siegel has a really great understanding of the tarot and tarot interpretations. They have both upright and reverse meanings in here. So that's a good feature. The King of Junk. The King of Junk. So that junk would be Pentacles. The King of Junk is the Worm. The Hello Worm. Can't do it right now. Hold on. Where's it? He's so cute. Salt of the earth provider who isn't afraid to get his hands dirty and work hard for what he wants. Stable, warm, and welcoming. Material abundance, takes pride in his comfortable home and all of the fruits of his labor. Come in for a spot of tea with the missus. Sad, really, that it's been a while. It's been literal years since I've watched Labyrinth, but I remember this dude. Did you say hello? No, I said hello, but that's close enough. Queen of Junk. Knight of Junk. Page of Junk. Ace of Junk. 2, 3, 4. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about the junk suit being the Pentacles. Flashcard style. I mean, Jenny's right. They're just not as interesting to me as illustrated pips. I agree. I agree. King of Feathers. So feathers, I believe, would be swords, I guess, for that air association. And it's the owl. Queen of Feathers. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I agree with you, Jenny. They don't evoke any emotion or thoughts. Yeah. Knight of Feathers. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, did I go too fast? Jenny's going, ooh, which one? Which one? The owl? Is it the owl or the Queen of Feathers? Queen of Feathers looks like kind of diabolical there. I like the King of Feathers. Yeah, the owl. Uh-huh. Really pretty. Mm-hmm. Page of Feathers. I know everyone went, aw, before. Ace of Feathers. Look at that little baby. I need to know more about the Ace of Feathers. Who is that cutie? Doesn't tell you. Doesn't tell you anything about that cutie patootie. Looks like a little like baby dragon or griffin or something. So cute. Look at those eyes. Look at those big eyes. Two of feathers. Three of feathers. The feathers are really beautiful though, I will admit. Five of feathers. Six of feathers. Seven of feathers. Eight of feathers. Nine of feathers. 10 of feathers. And now we have pots, which would be cups. So you've got the King of Pots, you've got the Queen of Pots, you've got the Knight of Pots, and the Page of Pots. Ace. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh. 8, 9, 10. And for some reason, I flipped over one. What did I flip over? The 4. There we go. So there you go. That's the Labyrinth Tarot. The box. So a couple of things I do want to say. Oh no, how did these get out of order? Oh, I think I might have used. How did I lose a card already? Did I really just lose a card already? I might have. It just happened. Where is Sarah? Where did Sarah go? Oh no. I need to find Sarah first. Oh yeah, that's right. I did put it out of order. I did shuffle that before. For a second there, I thought it was messing with me, but no, I messed with myself. There she is. Whoo! That was a little rough. All right. Jenny is asking, can we get a good look at the back, please? Sure. This is the back. It's almost like that wooden door with paneling and stuff. Here, I'll take away your comment so you can see it in full. No edging to it, no colored edging or anything, but strong, sturdy, nice give to the cards, neither too thin nor too thick. So they do have a nice shuffle to them. And again, the box is very nice too, and nice and strong. It doesn't require you to have a different case or bag or silk wrap or anything like that, unless you want to. And I think I'm going to start using this come Monday because I want to send out the newsletter first. Or maybe tomorrow. Just because I start using them doesn't mean that I can't, start using them first and newsletter comes second. That's fine too. All right, any other questions that you have about the Labyrinth Tarot or anything else before we move into the weekend forecast and I let you guys go? I'm just going to sit here and shuffle my shuffle the minor arcana separately from the major arcana and then shuffle in the major arcana. That might help with distributing some of these cards a little bit more evenly and randomly. Right. Shuffled. And let's put a couple there. A couple in the middle. And a couple halfway through. And at the bottom. So Jenny says, packaging is important. Yes, it is. I saw an unboxing of a deck earlier today that came in a tuck box. So disappointing. Which deck was it? And is that what we call those tuck boxes? The ones with the flimsy cardboard that ends up foxing the edges of the deck and completely destroying them? Is that what that's called? Because I hate those. There's no excuse. There's no excuse in 2023 for your packaging to suck on a tarot deck. And I think that a lot of tarot deck manufacturers and publishers are now, taking notes and really taking the feedback of tarot connoisseurs and people who love tarot and also tarot professionals, and keeping in mind, it's just like, we need strong cards. We can't work with a flimsy deck. We don't want a deck that bends, Ooh. I haven't even heard of that deck. The Modern Hue, pretty watercolor, but box was terrible. Yeah, like I said, there's no excuse for that. Really no excuse for that. Then again, you do have a lot of opportunities if you do have that particular conundrum to buy a cute tarot bag from someone like Moonlit Fae. I love Moonlit Fae's bags. Of course, I can't think of where my bags are right now of Moonlit Fae's. Oh, it's over there. I have an Aries Moonlit Fae bag, and then I also have the Pocket of Peers little bag kit too. So, all right, I will start working with this for the card of the day pulls starting tomorrow. Thank you all for watching and enjoying the unboxing. And I might need to get another ribbon. Add on a ribbon tie or something. go. Labyrinth Tarot. All right. Time for the weekend forecast. You're very welcome, Fran. So the weekend forecast. It is time. It is time. So like I said before, I'm feeling drawn to use the Way of Bridget Oracle cards. These were created by Tanya Reichley, and I believe you can find them on her Etsy. So search Etsy for the Way of Bridget Oracle cards, and you should be able to find it in honor of In Bulk this week. And these I did not purchase for myself. My friend who's dedicated to Bridget and also has a copy of this deck gifted it to me. So these are the cards, small, and each of them have a different aspect of Bridget on them. So let's pull and see what Bridget wants us to keep in mind this weekend, other than the full moon in Leo on Sunday. For wildness. All right, so we're getting the Fox card. So here it is, and I'll go ahead and read it. The Fox for wildness. Bridget communes with both the flora and fauna of nature. She shares a special affinity with the fox, a creature representing the mystique of the wildwood. Bridget recognizes that you need to connect with the wild. Spend time visualizing your favorite wild place. Visit this place in your mind, engaging all of your senses. Embrace this wildness within your being and allow this primal aspect of yourself to be unencumbered and free. You are wild. And I would say not only visit that place in your mind, but if you can go outside and visit nature and visit your favorite wild place, I would encourage you to do so, but also be safe. Be safe while doing so. The weather has been particularly treacherous lately with the cold snap that's been going on in my neck of the woods, and also the wind has been like really fierce and blowing things around. Like it has been picking up like pipes and things and blowing things around and, you know, throwing dumpsters and garbage pails out onto the street and whipping them around. So, you know, when you're going to your wild place and communing with nature, just be careful while doing so, but also embrace the wildlife and the nature this weekend. All right, that is it for tonight's episode of the live stream. I thank you all so much for watching. And again, a reminder, you can tune in every Friday night at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right wherever you're watching, whether you're watching on the Tube of You or the Book of Face. Katie says, thank you and have a safe and good weekend. You too, Katie. Thanks as always for tuning in. And also a reminder to book a reading with me, tarotbyhilary.com. I not only do tarot readings, I also am an EFT tapping practitioner too. So if you want to learn more about that, everything's available on my website, tarotbyhilary.com. And then you can look in the top navigation for all of the different things that I do. Oh my goodness, lots of comments here. So I'll wait for that to pop. Thank you. You're welcome, Jenny. You're welcome to everybody. And also, you know, let me know what you want to learn about during these weekly live streams. You know, I knew that I was going to do the unboxing for tonight's episode because it's a new month, new deck. That's what I always say, even though I will, you know, break out other decks that I have, but it's just been a particularly blessed couple of months where I've had a lot of decks to go through. So not for nothing, I will probably return to some of the decks in my collection, but I mean, like, what was I just saying? You know, the Labyrinth Tarot, I just got this in the mail too. I mean, like, I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining about it. Ooh, have you talked about runes? I might not have. Jenny, I would encourage you to check on my Tube of You channel and look in the search feature and search for runes. And if it doesn't come up, then yeah, we can talk about it. I have a beautiful set of carnelian runes that I actually activated, and I have a certificate of being a rune welder that I got from my high priestess. It's over on my altar. But I haven't really been doing a lot of rune welder work lately. And I know about the runes, but I'm always trying to learn a little bit more about the runes. There's actually a very funny story that my friend Melissa, who wrote Kitchen Table Magic and Kitchen Table Tarot, and who is also one of the co-hosts of the Card Singers Coast to Coast podcast. I can't remember what episode it was that she said, but we talked about how the runes did not want to work with her. Like, her friend was like pulling runes or whatever, and like, so she handed her the bag and she said pull out a rune, and the rune that came up was like the no rune basically, and she tried 2 more times and she just kept on getting the no rune. And so like her friend just quietly took the bag of runes away from her, like, not for you. So hopefully that is not the case for me and my own rune experience. It has not been. It's just like, much like Lenormand, I like them. I don't know if they necessarily like me. Jenny says my coven was just starting to study them, then I moved across the country. Well, definitely we can talk about it. Just because I'm not an expert in it doesn't mean that I can't do a little bit of research and present to you a couple of resources for you to continue your studies on runes. Again, like that's my whole thing. Just like, you know, let's find out, let's try, right? And I have a question in the chat. Do you take one yes or no question? Well, Farida, thank you so much for watching and welcome to you, but we are just ending the episode now. But there are plenty of chances for readings in the next live stream that I do. Friday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So tune in next week for an opportunity to win a three card reading with me. It's not a guarantee though. So if you do want to book a reading, that's available, tarotbyhilary.com. All right, really gonna go now. But Jenny, that's a great suggestion about maybe talking about runes. So let me talk to my own runes and see what we can see, and maybe that's gonna be next week's topic. I'm open to suggestions as always. All right, thank you all so much. And once again, I am Hilary, professional tarot reader, demystifying the mystical and putting you in touch with the most beautiful of gifts, your own intuition. Because yes, my friends, do not argue with me. You have intuition. All of you have intuition. And Jenny, you're very welcome. Thanks for considering. Of course, you're very welcome. And good night to you too, Fran. Nice to see you, and thank you for joining us. All right, let me take down my Brandon here. Okay, cool. All right, bye everybody.